Hey, everybody. Welcome to Don't Make Me Come Back There. We are a funny podcast about family. My name is Dustin Nickerson. I'm a stand-up comedian and the host
What?
of the aforementioned podcast. And alongside me in our state-of-the-art recording studio above Public Square Coffee in downtown La Mesa is my lovely wife and co-host, Melissa Nickerson.
Hey there.
And our producer, Andy.
Hey.
And 7 of Andy's 11 children are in the house. Cheers.
Cheers.
To us, to Andy's kids. The clock turned off already.
Oh, no.
We're off to a banging start here on Tuesday.
I always accidentally hit the power saving mode.
It's all right. It doesn't matter, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Backseaters, I appreciate you guys, whatever you're doing right now. Thanks for letting us get in that little ear canal of yours, of which mine has too much wax. My right one.
Yeah.
That's what I was told.
Mm-hmm.
I went in to look at some throat stuff, which we'll get into.
Okay.
And they're doing all the generic checkups, that stuff.
Yeah.
And the first doctor goes, you've got too much wax in your ear. I was like, okay. And you know how doctors are. They just tell you it like very matter-of-factly.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes, you're going to want to put olive oil in it. And I was like, that feels like that needs further explanation. And it did. He was like, yeah, you need to put a couple drops in it every day for 7 days. And then you need to get a little
baby suction thing.
Mm-hmm. And then you need to get in the shower and get a little cup of water and go.
Oh, and then you put that in your ear?
And then you flush it. You go. And I was like, yeah, but all you said was olive oil until I asked the further up question.
I know.
I was just going to go home and just...
They make you ask.
I was just going to dump it in there and dip pita in it. And
my ear's clogged.
Yeah. No, come and get it, everybody. There's olive oil in my ear. It's delightful. So, and then I went and saw the specialist. The
Nose?
We always called them throat.
Ear, nose, throat.
Ear, nose, throat doctors. Yeah. They have a new title.
Okay.
And it has surgeon in it.
Oh.
And that's what my primary guy was like, yeah, they needed some new title because they didn't like their old one. So now the new one has surgeon in it. And he was like very condescending, unlike a doctor.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyways, now, nose surgeon guy is, he goes to check my ear and I go, my other doctor said I have too much wax in that ear. This is the next day.
Yeah.
And he goes, he was right about that. And then he didn't say anything else either. And I was like, this is your thing.
They don't.
This is your ears.
Like, dude, I'm here to see your throat.
I am here to shove a camera up your nose.
Yeah.
So I can see your vocal cords.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what he did. Yeah. And it was I will share this now. They went in. He didn't see anything wrong. Like, he's like, there's no
good
things like sometimes like people who talk a lot, like teachers or singers. They get like calluses on there, like little growths type things. Mm-hmm. I didn't have any of that. And he goes, I think you have a thing called muscle tension dysphonia. Muscle tension dysphonia, the basic idea as it was explained to me is that I don't use my vocal box correctly. I overstrain the muscles around it. Mm-hmm. So I use too much neck muscle to talk and not enough voice box. Yeah. And he's like, so I'm going to refer you to a speech language pathologist. And I was like, so I need to learn how to speak differently? And he goes, exactly. And I was like, oh, this would have been so much easier if it was like a surgery or like take this pill.
No,
not like
you got to do the work.
No, you got to go. And so I've started little exercises and on
TikTok.
You know what's frustrating about middle age is every single thing that is wrong with you might be from stress.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Every single thing.
And everything would be benefited if you stretched more. Yeah.
It's true. You go in and you're like, man, I got these headaches. Okay, well, it might be A, B, and C, but it also might be stress. Are you a little uptight? Have things been pretty busy in your life? Yes. I'm a middle-aged human in the world. Yep. I'm pretty stressed. Mm-hmm. It's pretty stressful out here.
A lot of liabilities and responsibilities.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I'm bleeding out from my neck from a knife that ended up there. Well, was it a stress knife? Was it
stress related?
Was it a stress related incident?
It was very stressful.
Yeah. Oh. So you got a UTI. It's either because you went to a water park or because of stress. And
It's
you're
probably both.
It's probably both.
Those are correlated.
I think it's the stress.
Never get in the kiddie pool. Just never do it.
So you need to have some cranberry juice and stretch.
Yeah.
Everything that could potentially go wrong with you is stress related in your middle age. So
I just need the phone to start telling me about my stretching.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give me stretch minutes. Yeah.
iFlex.
Work that in.
I need a new app. iFlex. It just walks you through your each. I don't know. It's
Body rubber bands around.
Yeah.
That synced to my phone so they know how much I'm actually stretching them.
I'm quite sure
so they
this
can
exists.
log my minutes.
yeah. Everything in middle age is like so like rudimentary. Like how is your posture? What? Well, you broke your elbow. You probably have bad posture. What?
Broke your elbow.
That doesn't seem related. Oh, you have bad posture, so you were kind of like off balance, and the bad posture probably came from
Bad shoes.
stress. I really tried to give
bad
you
mattress.
I tried to give you that stress
I'm
one.
sorry. I did not take the bait.
No, I like that. I tried to give you the button to the clip.
I know.
I tried to
I missed it again.
bump, set, miss.
Bad shoes.
Bad shoes. Anyway,
if only
so
I could plan what I said.
I have muscle tension dysphonia, which very well could come from stress. But more likely what it comes from is the fact that I talk all the time and I speak very loudly. I'm a loud talker. I'm annoyingly loud, and I feel it on stage now that I'm like being more mindful of it. And former front seater and mutual friend Dustin Kensrew, who's like the singer friend that I have, I talked to him and he gave me some tips, and he's like, you just got to be mindful over the day. And he goes, one thing that you'll notice is like your meet and greets, you're speaking louder than you have to.
Because you were just on stage.
You just got on stage.
Yeah.
And I caught that immediately. I'm still doing bits, essentially. I'm just up there, oh, yeah, thanks for being a fan. You're the only one that I picked. Like, I'm still doing full volume hits. And when they're like, yeah, man, we just wanted a picture. Maybe you signed the book. Where's Melissa? Okay.
That's the second thing, babe. Everything is stress related, so you should stretch. And you should be mindful. If we can all be more mindful.
If you could just be more mindful of what? Just mindful. What you need?
Present. It's just if you could be present focused.
Yeah. I think that if you would be, what it is you need to be like mindful of your mindfulness.
I think that's the key. Yeah. And most people don't know that.
Yeah.
That the minding your mindfulness is actually how you stay in the present.
Right. And what's hard about that is sometimes, you just have to be flexible with what happens in your life, what comes at you.
Yeah.
And you know how you stay flexible? Stretching.
You think T up 2 would have... No.
I thought when I said...
Bad mattress!
I said... Bad
Flexible was my
I thought
cue.
flexible was the cue. Did you see it coming, Andy? Yeah.
I was waiting. I was trying to cue it up. I was thinking about it along the way. I'm like, okay, where are we going to slip it in?
Where are we going to get back to stretch? Yeah. Anyways.
Can you just hold up a sign that says stretch?
And you got it.
Start right. Melissa, Dustin's doing a bit. Come on. No, you're very funny this episode. You're doing great, man. This is a good episode so far. This is why we get such glowing reviews, guys.
Ooh.
Yeah. How about this one? This is from Dano34567, 5-star, great chemistry. Dustin and Mel are great together. Love the show. I'm proud to say I've listened to every episode. I laugh out loud every episode. How about that, huh?
That is a great review. I think he might be a patron.
Dano?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
I think that was a flea. We've brought him here.
That is so special.
There's some fleas in our house. There's some fleas, and it's a bad situation, but we're not going to get into that.
Yeah, we'll save that.
It's just animal lice. It's the same thing.
Same comb. Yep.
Anyways,
It's really special.
You know what can cause fleas?
Stress.
Stress. There it is. You got that one. You got that one. Anyways, thanks guys for coming out to the shows this last week in Fresno, Sacramento. We did the Labyrinth Arts Collective in Fresno. Fresno was fun. That was like a cool little like 54-seater black box thing. That was a good time, and there'll be some clips and stuff coming from that. It was a great show. And then, excuse me, I have stress related heartburn.
Your oatmeal.
Yeah. It's been a stressful morning. And then we did 3 shows in Sacramento. If you want to get a beautiful snapshot of where we are at in our career right now, it is the Sacramento weekend. Laughs Unlimited. It's like my 4th time headlining that club. Super hot room. And 2 early shows sold out. Boom. Most tickets have ever sold there. I've sold out 1 show before there. We sold out 2 shows, and a 3rd show sold pretty well too.
Friday, Saturday.
We had to cancel the late show Friday because tickets were at 0, which means the Dustin Nickerson fans have spoken, and they go, we love you before 10.
Yep.
Anything after 10. Because we sold at 9:30 okay in Atlanta.
Yes.
Like, but and so we are, like, I'm booking a weekend at the DC Improv right now, which is great. I can't wait. It's maybe the best club in the country.
Yeah.
And we've told them, like, hey, man, don't make me do a Friday late. No one will come. They don't. But if you give me a Thursday at 8, people will come to that. We got some You give me a Friday at 8. You give me a Saturday at 6 and 8:30. Boom. And then if things go well, give me a Sunday.
Yeah.
Give me a Sunday before the Thursday, honestly. Just it's easy to think about. It's about our lifestyle. A Sunday at 6 is much easier to accommodate than a Thursday at 8. So
yes.
But I understand not all our fans are parents, but a lot of them are. And I mean, to have Jenny, who books me there at Laughs, she was like, I've never seen it skewed this extreme. To have sellouts and a cancel. That's crazy. But I sold more tickets in that market than I ever have, and anywhere in NorCal. Sacramento, which is pretty on brand for me, too, that Sacramento is my NorCal. SF, baby? Nah. San Jose? Oakland? No way, baby. You give me Sacktown. That's where this guy sells. So, anyways, thanks for coming out. Thank you, Demarius. She was she got a meet and greet at that show. She brought a friend.
OG patron.
Sometimes I'll let you bring a friend to the meet and greet. Sometimes I'll let you bring multiple friends. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just depends what kind of mood we're in. Yeah. But it was nice to meet you again for like the 11th time, Demarius. I said meet. It was the wrong word. But thanks for coming out.
Yeah.
You guys are great. Arthur Gauss middled. It was fun. Mean Dave was the host.
Okay.
I'd not met Mean Dave. He's not mean. He's an old metalhead. He was like in bands and stuff.
Okay.
And he just had that name. And he does it. He goes, just so you guys know, it's just a stage name. It's actually short for Meaningful David.
Okay.
And so you don't need to worry. It's a great opener. Great opener. So, I appreciate you guys coming out to those shows. And then we had an anniversary situation Sunday, which we'll get into that whole debacle here shortly. But I had a Southwest flight home from Sacramento, and I had like the most Southwest flight in the history of Southwest flights.
Okay.
Southwest is full of people who don't fly a lot, and that's fine. There are certain areas like where if I know when I'm flying Southwest. If I'm going to Texas, I'm flying Southwest. If I'm going to Sacramento, I'm flying Southwest. If I'm going to Phoenix or Denver, I'm flying Southwest because Southwest is my second option because free bags, and it's usually pretty affordable. So they've got certain little parts.
And can't you cancel?
It's so flexible.
Yeah.
So flexible. Because originally I was going to meet you in Santa Barbara, and I switched to San Diego. It costs $30 to change it. If you were trying to do that on United, they'd be like, well, it will cost you $3,000 and a child of your choice. You have to give up, a child or 2 animals. Whichever's easier for you to
Blood
partner
sacrifice.
with. Exactly.
Yes.
So the it's like the amount of bad stuff or funny stuff that happened in 50 minutes was pretty remarkable.
From Sacramento.
From Sacramento to San Diego.
Barbara.
So Sacramento to San Diego. It's less than an hour flight. The thing that I noticed first is we hit cruising altitude, and something happens across the way from me that like something drops, and suddenly there is like a young 20s female on her hands and knees crawling down the aisleway. Looking for what I think is an AirPod. I'm assuming an AirPod fell. And
those things can bounce.
And so she can't. AirPods are so. Apple is genius that they're like, hey, you know how you always lose AirPods? Now you might lose 3 different items and have to replace the whole situation. Oh, they're more expensive than ever before, too. Yeah. But they turn on right away.
Could have been a cup lid.
Could have been a cup lid. Could have been anything. And it rolled. And so she's looking down her aisle. And then I realize she doesn't know if it's gone forward or backwards because she's just crawling. She's probably crawling a total of 10 aisles. Like, hey, do you guys mind if you lift up? She's asking people to lift up their feet like she's vacuuming.
Oh, my gosh.
And I'm like, what's going on? And then because she was a young, attractive female, a couple young dudes decided, well, we'll also help look. So now there are about 4 young 20s on their hands and knees in the aisle, crawling like a rat marching down the alley, just like looking under. And now they're looking on my side of the aisle. It's like, do you think it crossed the aisle? You think it hopped over? Do you think is there an AirPod magnet on my side over here? There's no way.
Over here.
There's no way that it is here. They never found it. It's never been found.
Oh, man. Well, an AirPod has never been found.
No one's ever found an AirPod ever. So there's that. And then there's a kid flying by herself. Like that, that happens. She's got her little like Pokemon thing with the thing, and she's doing great and everything. Unaccompanied minor. Mm-hmm. And but then as we're getting up, there's an older guy, probably like 70 something across. He's my aisle mate. Right across from me. Uh-huh. He did not get on his hands and knees and look for the AirPod. Mm-hmm. And he stood up and at the end of the flight to get his bag. And I noticed he was like kind of getting really like close to me. Like, but an aisle seat means butts in your face. That's the sacrifice.
That's the seat.
The sacrifice of being able to go to the bathroom quickly is butts in your face. That's,
Yeah.
So, I'm like, oh man, this guy's like, but then he's kind of like slowly getting closer and closer and closer, like kind of just like leaning down more. And then I was like, oh, is he falling? Is this like the slowest fall in history? And I put a hand on him to like stabilize him a little bit. And I was like, oh no, he is absolutely falling because
fall.
I put my hand in here and now the hand's going down. So I 2-hand push him back up. A little too hard because then he goes too far forward. Yeah, and then the guy kind of catches him on the other side.
Yeah.
So we're kind of pushing this guy back and forth to get him back stable up into the aisle. And then the guy's like, "Hey, let me grab your bag." And then the flight attendant goes, "Does anyone here need a wheelchair?" Because he sees this whole thing. And our guy doesn't even know he's on an airplane. Guy who almost fell, so he doesn't know he needs a wheelchair.
Just get him a wheelchair.
Yeah. And he proceeded to get his bag and do probably the slowest walk in history all the way up. And I was like, a man fell on me. He like almost down to my lap, fell on me. And you know what? He had stolen the AirPod. Sorry, I that story didn't have a button to it, so I had to create
it. Yeah.
Anyways.
That's crazy.
No Southwest flight. No, I do have some Southwest flights coming up on these upcoming dates, by the way, guys. Next week, Omaha, August 23rd, Milwaukee, August 24th, Minneapolis, August 25th, Tulsa, August 26th, Dallas, August 27th, San Antonio, August 31st. Then we're in that same weekend, Houston. Almost all those tickets are running low, by the way.
Ticket count.
Low ticket count. September 1st and 2nd is Houston. September 3rd is Oklahoma City. And September 4th is Austin. Those are my last headlining dates for 3 months.
Now or never.
And then we roll into December and beyond where we have Columbus, Cleveland, Liberty, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, that's new, Indy, Philadelphia, Portland, Kansas City, St. Louis, Grand Rapids, Spokane, Washington, soon to add D.C., working on something in Colorado. I'm gonna get to Vancouver, BC. We're almost there. Just give me a second. I want.
Awesome.
Anyways,
That's great.
you good, Mel?
I am good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You look great.
Well,
we bought
thanks.
this where you live.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
nice.
Collective or whatever, the
thing at
Rising
Seabourn.
company.
Yeah.
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 You don't love
Rising
Seabourn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rising Co.
Yeah. You have a bug on your face.
Do I?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, I see it crawling. It's off now. You know, do you think I made that up?
No.
No.
No, I believe you.
It's
That's
off
why I'm
now.
like-
Yeah.
I kept feeling something. Like
Yeah.
I thought it was a hair. And I'm
We
like,
brought you a
Yeah.
flea.
thank
Yeah.
you.
No, it wasn't a flea.
No.
Fleas don't crawl.
Cool.
They don't.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You know what? By the end of this, I'll be radioactive and
Yes.
I can stick my hand.
Yeah. There's no way your house doesn't have fleas.
Yeah. No way.
Anyway. We as this was back to school week for us.
It was.
And
yes.
you
Yeah.
know, I want to say this is our 13th.
I think it might be our 14th because our kid's
13
been going to school since he was 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did like a cooperative preschool when he was like 2, 3.
And
Now he's a junior in high school.
I was just thinking about
Yeah.
you. I think about you a lot.
Okay.
You're a remarkable person, and the ease. I mean, I was there. I was supportive, and helped in the ways that I could. But you kind of champion the back to school efforts.
Yeah.
The way that it works in our household is it's cool when I help. It's like, oh, nice, that's great. No. Well, this is welcomed here. But I'm not leading. There's other areas of the household
Sure.
that I do lead. But the back to school
Mhm.
efforts.
I think it's important that dads lead.
Oh gosh.
I'm kidding.
Come
I don't.
on, yeah.
I didn't even want to say that,
No,
but I did.
I like that you did.
I did read an article this morning that said that 43% of men in 1982 had never changed a diaper.
Oh my.
Where for millennials, it's only 3%.
Only 3%.
We
We
data
saw
on
that
millennial
too.
Yeah.
men are basic
Mhm.
as fathers
Yeah, no.
are significantly more involved. So hey,
Yeah.
yay
Yes,
us!
I did see that.
I saw that
because
too, yeah.
infant care builds bonds that last a lifetime
Yeah.
with parental figures. It's crazy.
I saw that stat,
Yeah.
right? That it said millennial dads have been spending 3 times more
Yeah,
Time
time.
with their children.
Millennial dads have been spending 3 times the amount of time with their children as any generation before them,
Mhm.
which is remarkable because it's never been easier to ignore your kids.
How so?
so true.
The world, the devices, the phone. It's
Yeah.
never been easier. You have more entertainment options. You have more things distracting you, which just goes to show how little our dads wanted to spend time with us. Because you used to have to go out of your way to ignore your child. You would have to, you would. There was only so. What were you doing?
I was just thinking the kids are outside. That was the go outside generation.
Our kids still go outside,
So
but we go out with them.
Right.
yeah.
That's the difference. I play volleyball with our girls.
Yeah. No.
Every day I'm home. How many times have I
Yeah.
jumped on the trampoline with our kids?
Well, don't you think a lot of dads were just doing home tasks
No.
to avoid us?
Yes.
Yes, that part. Yes,
Like,
absolutely.
The
Yeah.
recarpeting the
Yeah. Oh, Dad's doing chores.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
bother him.
Yeah.
Kind of
or
thing.
the car stuff.
Yeah,
or
He's
the-
in a rage. He's gonna go mow the lawn.
And they would start
Yeah.
getting more preposterous. Dad's gonna go carpet the attic. Like, what?
Just let him do it.
What? Just say you don't want to come to my game, Dad. We don't even have an attic. Well, I got to build the attic first, and then I'll carpet the attic, and then I'll spend a lot of time up there.
Yeah, spackle it.
Hopefully, I'll get locked up there, Chevy Chase style, and just
There you
miss
go.
a few years. It's so clearly in response. I know I don't know. It's an interesting thing because I know there are societal changes that are negative. Of course there are.
Yeah.
But there are some that are wildly positive. And the
Mhm.
ones that our dads are spending more time with their kids are remarkable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It is crazy that the old tropes of I mean,
those stigmas stick around for so long.
yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of more women are in the workforce.
Yeah.
Which, and childcare forces millennial
Right.
dads to be more hands-on.
Yeah.
But even like the TV shows like Bluey and stuff,
Yeah.
like those dads are like really like involved. I mean, what
you
was
think
it? The Full
My
House
kids
dad.
give me
The Full
crap
House
when
dad.
I don't do what Bluey Dad does.
Hilarious.
I know.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah,
hysterical.
it's a high bar.
Here's
Yeah.
a question.
Thanks.
Yeah.
But no, the Full House dad, Danny
Yeah,
Tanner,
Danny Tanner.
he had a lot of
He was the
deep
pinnacle
talks
of
with
the
his girls and
yeah,
I know, pinnacle
Mhm. of just like kind of like
Hands-on.
work but home and hands-on dad.
and
yeah.
social
For its time.
emotional kind of.
Mhm.
I know.
Yeah,
It's
he was
wild.
caring, he was loving, he was sensitive.
Yeah.
You know, that was all like a big part of it. Before it became like, because you also had like Everyone Loves Raymond,
Yeah.
you know, which also felt like he was involved, but also like it kind of rode that like tension of like he's too sensitive to things and too reactive and
Yeah.
you know, that whole
he was a
TV
great
culture.
TV dad.
Yeah.
I was
He's a
just
fun
looking
TV
up,
dad.
and I can't find a quick stat. But what I'm interested in is are millennial moms spending more times with their kids? And my guess would be no, because I think there are more
Yeah.
working women
Yeah.
than there used to be.
Absolutely.
So is another side
Yeah.
of the coin, isn't there? I didn't mean to undo a stat like that. Like,
Wait,
The
this
correlation
pendulum
of
swings.
depression has also had a real
Yeah.
high swing.
yeah.
Pendulum's really swinging.
Yeah.
Ooh,
But, I mean, a la the message of the Barbie movie, like, you don't want it too weighted one way or the other on gender. Like,
Yeah,
there
because-
should be
Right.
equal representation in the workforce and in the home, and you wouldn't want the kids to spend a disproportionate amount of with the mom or the dad or one of the moms or one of the dads or whatever the house situation is. Like, the point is you need both. You
Yeah.
need both, you know.
ideally.
Ideally. Yeah.
I mean, women still do like way more of the housework.
Yes. Yeah. And
like,
according to that said, they're still
the
much more likely to
hours.
put their careers on hold than
Yeah, that-
so
Pandemic. I don't know. A lot of people spend a lot of time with it. Extra time
Right.
with their children during the pandemic.
Right.
So it feels skewed.
yeah.
Just
Listen, it is
Yeah.
crazy to think about that we are the best generation of dads America has ever had. And you're like, wow, that bar was low because I understand that I understand that I spend 3 times more time with my children than anyone in my family ever has. But I also see my screen time report.
yeah, and our kids.
And our
yeah.
kids' screen
Yeah.
time report.
Ooh. we had this conversation Sunday. Like the trickle down of 1, the pandemic, and 2, having 3 children.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this is a judgment-free zone. Our 5-year-old got Fortnite and a Nintendo Switch at 5.
Right.
And our son got Fortnite after 6th grade.
Yeah.
Like the 7th grade summer,
Mhm.
he got Fortnite.
Mhm.
And that was purely because we needed her to play with her
Yeah.
friends and
Mhm.
let us like get something done.
An announcement, Melissa is with child and that child is on TikTok.
Yeah, you can follow them.
It just keeps getting, you just keep setting the boundary different with each kid. I don't know.
It's tough out there.
It is good though, because I do think that like one of the tropes that I hate the most is like parenting is the same today as it ever was. And it is not. It is
It
not.
changes.
You know how I know
Yeah.
it isn't real? Because my 9-year-old came up to me the other day and goes, Dad, I don't want aliens to be real. And I can't say they aren't. I can't look in my child's face and go, aliens aren't real. Because we have like generals saying like, no, they're real, baby. That's great because there's no what to tell your children about alien books. There's
Okay,
no.
You could write that book.
I could write that book. That book doesn't. How to speak to your child about aliens. That book does not exist yet. All the books
Said here and now,
Yes.
patent, we're putting
Yes.
it on a
Yeah,
post-it
how to
note.
talk to your child about
PMs,
aliens.
sending it to ourselves.
All the books about aliens are like the alien needs to brush its teeth and listen to its alien mom. We have to teach our kids about other human races.
Yeah. Life
Our-
forms.
Our
yeah.
parents won't learn about other races.
We had ET.
Like, do you understand that?
Let alone humanoids.
Do you understand that? We need books on how to teach children about other races than humans. And meanwhile, there's a group of people trying to make books that don't teach about other human races. Do you understand the dichotomy here?
So we got
like
two
it has
extremes.
to go so far. We have to get in the direction of we're beyond human. It's crazy. I don't know what to. No one tells you what to tell your child about aliens. None.
It's pretty out of this world.
Oh gosh. Yayo. Oh, I could see that idea orbiting over there. Come on.
Stretch.
Oh, Mel. You didn't even
try.
You didn't even put it into a sentence. You just said stretch. That's very funny. The other day, I asked Melissa, which Charlie Brown character do you think you are? Or which one are we? We asked each other which one they were.
Uh-huh.
And you said you were Lucy because
I'm the older sister.
Kind of bossy.
And I kind of pretend to know psychiatry or psychology.
And then guess
5-cent psychiatry.
Guess who she said I was, if you were to guess? Knowing that this is a comedy bit.
Yeah, I mean, Linus?
Nope. Pigpen. She said because I needed help. You didn't even say Pigpen. You just said the dirty one.
Yeah.
Because that's all you know about Pigpen is that he's dirty. You said I was Pigpen.
I'm here to help.
Listen, it was whatever.
You set that up.
Hey.
What was I supposed to say?
You then.
Who do you want to be?
Listen, you then proceeded to make sweet, sweet love to me. So.
Who do you want to be?
I'll take the insult. I don't want to be any of them.
Charlie Brown?
No.
Oh, that's funny. I was thinking Linus was Pigpen in my mind.
No. Linus is piano player with the blanket.
The blanket, yeah.
He loves Jesus.
But I was thinking about the dirty kid.
Thought Pigpen, Linus would have been a compliment.
Yeah.
Linus, you're like, oh, he's a man of faith.
Yeah.
He's a musician.
Musician, you're right. Yeah.
He's
Okay, I should have picked
Curtis Chapman.
Linus.
Yep.
Okay.
No, you said Pigpen.
It was a joke.
I think the only compliment you could get as a guy
Schroeder was the piano player.
would have been that was it would be the only Snoopy's the only compliment.
Because he's cool.
Yeah.
Or Woodstock.
Either one, it's the animals.
Yeah, you don't want to be.
Yeah.
That's the beginning of societal collapse. There's no strong males in the Peanuts. It's a female-run society over there. You get a weak male who's just being dominated by women. Anyways, there's a couple things that I don't like. One, and I'm guilty of this over the years, of the trope of like back to school, everything's easier now. No, it's not. It's not back to school. Mm-hmm. It's back to schedule, is what you said.
Like hard and fast schedule.
Hard and fast, out of nowhere schedule. You go from being like a surfer to being in the military. Like overnight when you go from summer to back to school. Mm-hmm. If you want to know, okay, this is the difference between being a parent and a non-parent. These are my 3 children, and these are their 3 different schools, all right? Because I have a middle schooler, an elementary schooler, and a high schooler. Look, they each get progressively less happy as they get older. That was Melissa's artistic choice. Each one of these children
Let's zoom in on this here. Let's get a little...
Okay,
sure we're all there.
Here's the difference between being a child, here's the difference between being a parent and a non-parent. I have 3 children that go to 3 different schools, elementary, middle, and high school. Yeah. Each of these kids have to get to these 3 different schools, and we have to get them there. So this kid, we take them in, and then we go back. And then after school, we take them in, and then we go back. And then this kid, This is just into school, we come back, into school, we come back.
Drop-offs and pickups.
Each one of these kids also has an after-school activity in a different location than the school. So, again, There, we come home. We go 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 there, we come home. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16, 24. That is 24 one-way trips that we have to do at a bare minimum.
5 times a week.
5 times a week, a bare minimum 24 one-way trips.
That's not including orthodontist, doctor, therapy, just everything.
A trip to the grocery store.
Yeah.
A trip to get a cup of coffee. At bare minimum, we do 24 one-way trips.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
That's homework and showers and chores.
I'm sorry that one of the self-checkout lines at Whole Foods was closed and your life was so inconvenienced today. I'm not saying that your life isn't hard. Of course your life is hard. It's time. It's the busyness.
Mm-hmm.
It's the amount of unpaid Uber driving that you have to do. That is 24 one-way trips, and then you die.
Mm-hmm.
And you're grateful to do it. And it's an honor to do it.
You have to get your mindfulness in while you're doing those drives.
You have to be, yeah. Mm-hmm. And all along those drives, you're saying, relax your jaw. Relax your jaw. You're
Talk with your diaphragm.
Yeah.
No diaphragms here.
And you know what? None of them,
they'll fight you the whole way.
It is met with the absolute, and resisting every step of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Every step of the way. But you're doing it because it's the right thing to do. And it helps them. And it's good for them. By the way, if you guys are just listening to audio, we have a visual. Yeah.
Enriching activities.
Yeah.
To give you a healthy mind platter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes. Here we go. Mm-hmm.
It's, you're an Amazon driver, but the package hates you.
They literally kick you.
Yes.
And threaten to get out.
Yeah.
And they trash your truck.
Yeah. Yes. 100% right.
And they take their shoes off.
Bare minimum 24 one-way trips. Every day. Every day that happens.
Yeah.
Now, one of our kids has a car now. That's great. So,
yeah.
But stop with the back to school.
Hashtag homeschool. Andy,
hashtag
right?
homeschool. I know that ended up being a commercial for homeschool co-ops, isn't it?
Guys, I find that the homeschoolers do a lot of driving because they can schedule stuff during the day and
all that driving just happens
during
the morning and the day.
Yeah. It's just different.
It's just different.
Yeah. Different driving.
Anyways, happy back to school, everybody.
Yeah, we had a really eventful back to school because it's been hot and our van overheated the first day of school.
Yes.
On one of my thousands of pickups. And we barely got it into the shop. And then suddenly we had two drivers in one car.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had a set of keys in the shop.
Yeah. And
our son, this is the first week of school that he can drive.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, we're sharing a car.
Yes.
So lots of hiccups.
But what I'm saying is earlier, it's part of the reason you're so impressive is that you handled it. It was easier than a back to school 10 years ago when you were only getting two kids into school, I guess 10 years ago you were pregnant, so that was hard too.
Yeah,
but
the reps definitely help. You know how to for example, this is a great example. Claire went to orientation in her new cool big kid shoes, and she got blisters.
Yes. 100%.
Which is great that she did that because she needed new socks for the bigger new shoes.
Yes.
And if she hadn't worn them to orientation, then her first day of school would have been terrible because the new shoes and they're tight.
Right.
Or they're not these slip-on little kid shoes.
No.
They're Vans, and so that kind of stuff you just learn along the way.
Mm-hmm.
That was a happy accident that it happened before the first day of school.
Right.
They switched the dress code Tuesday.
Yeah.
And they start Thursday.
And they're getting
when you have an 8th grade girl, that's a huge deal.
Yes.
Our son's screen time is just plummeting.
Yeah.
Because they have a new rule.
Our school district said if they see the phone, they take it.
His high school, yeah. Now, if that will last, those rules are great, and they try them, and then they gotta adjust, and that's what they've been doing.
Right.
It was more teacher driven, and now the school has established a put the phone away or we take it rule. So we'll see how that goes, but just a lot of changes.
But you handled it with all the grace and calmness. I don't know. It was fun to watch because we had our anniversary. Yesterday was our 19th anniversary. So Sunday we went to a show in Santa Barbara, and we're like, okay, this is a thing. We're going to do an overnighter. But this is that shows 13 years of back to schools or 14 years.
Yeah.
And really like 19 years of marriage and being parents for 16 of those years where we like.
It's a zig and zag.
It was like a real, you're like, if we need to, I think that it's taken me 19 years to understand this. Like, you knew that I wanted this trip and I know you wanted this trip.
Yeah.
But I wanted you to not feel pressured that I would be like super disappointed if this trip didn't happen.
We were sending so many clues, like we can cancel at any second.
That's what
that would be okay.
I think that this was a real change. I initiated that, which is huge for me because over the years I'd be like, we got to get our trip and we got to get our time together, blah, blah, blah. And we got this cool thing. And I said, I think on like Friday, or no, on Thursday, I said, if it's all too much, we have till Saturday to cancel the hotel.
Yeah.
And I can change my flights and it'll work out. And you were like, I haven't even thought about canceling, but thank you for saying that. And we did not confirm this puppy until Saturday. That's
Saturday night.
19 years marriage, 3 kids that were like, we have these plans. But we will give up on them in a second if we have to. And
there was like so many reasons to cancel it.
Yeah.
I
actually think you potentially would have had I not come in. It was almost a little reverse psychology. Like,
right. Well, because
if I would have been over pressuring it, I think they would have been more likely to be like, I don't want to even do this. But also the plan had to change because when she had to pick up a rental car all of a sudden, the original plan was I was going to fly to Santa Barbara from Sacramento. Just like a 20-minute flight.
And I was going to drive up Sunday morning.
That drive from San Diego to Santa Barbara is far. But I was going to have like the poshest day ever. Like, we've got a 2 p.m. flight. Just
pick me up. We'll go to the concert.
I'll be on just meet me at the hotel and we'll go to a concert. And you're like, yeah, no, I got these kids set and I got a rental car and I drove 5 hours. So I was like, well, I'll fly home and then we'll drive up together. So.
And our son did his first airport drive. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a big thing in the Nickerson family.
Then he went downtown with all those one ways.
Yeah.
And then he drove home and we're on our way to Santa Barbara. So it's all crazy. I'm glad we did it. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
I hadn't been to Santa Barbara in like 20 years.
It's great. Big fan. Sleepy Barbara.
Yeah.
We found a tiki bar.
For reference, Andy is a tiki bar
test pilot
connoisseur.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was great.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because test pilot is a drink. There's jet pilot, there's zombie, and there's test pilot. Those are all 3 riffs on a zombie. Good
Fantastic.
stuff.
I had you had a something in the vein of a mule that was good, a tiki mule situation, and I had my very favorite things, which were bourbon and citrus together. Oh, sweet, sweet bourbon citrus. It was great. It was great.
Yep.
Yeah. So check that spot out if you're in Sleepy Barbara at 11. Like, one more? Could we do one more? Let's do one more. I was going to do a couple emails here, but this is just like a quick plug.
Okay.
A couple of weeks ago, I did a gig at the National Comedy Center out in Jamestown, New York.
Yeah.
It is unbelievable. It's probably granted, I'm biased because it's my world.
Industry.
It's our Hall of Fame. Now, in classic comedy form, it's hard to get to. Jamestown is not convenient. You go to Buffalo and have to go another 90 minutes. It's hard to get to, but they built it there because it's where Lucille Ball's from. And Lucille Ball, being the generous human that she was like, we want to build you a museum. She goes, no, build one for all of comedy. And so it's fantastic. And it's totally worth the trip. Some of the cool, I guess USA Today called it like America's Best New Museum. It's amazing. It's got some really cool exhibits. It's got some amazing like artifacts. It's got like old manuscripts and of like from like Joan Rivers and just archives of material from Carlin and all these cool stuff from Rickles and Pryor and it's also got like a new modern flair too. They've got this really cool Tonight Show exhibit, like the original, like, well, not the original, but Johnny Carson's Tonight Show. They have the original curtain from Johnny Carson. It's
amazing.
That's so cool. Great. It's fantastic. Cool. So go make the trip if you guys can. Yeah, we'll go again. Okay, let's do a couple emails, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, this one is from Tamara, friend of the podcast. This one says, thank you, Mel. Just a quick note to thank Mel for her remark on the podcast a while back that she listens to podcasts in the grocery store because being there makes her anxious. I feel the same way. It's like some contest to get out of there as fast as possible with all the items on your list before the next urgent problem presents itself.
Yes, I have to go today, and when I went last week, the woman asked me, she's like, I hope this lasts you for 2 years. And I was like, it won't.
It won't. You're like, this will last me for 1 week.
And it is stressful. Our grocery store's remodeling. They didn't have like celery. Yeah. They just took out a bunch of the coolers. Yeah.
Is it what's going on
in
there?
The produce area?
Oh.
They're just changing it all.
Why would they do that?
It's just a facelift.
Sometimes people just change things just to change them.
We should probably update that store.
Yeah. Yeah, we're getting a new Starbucks remodel over at the Lake Murray one, and you're like, oh, okay.
Stores just do that. Yeah.
Here we go. This one's from Dan. Hi, Dustin and Mel. Quick story.
Hi, Dan.
I had tickets to see Dustin in North Charleston for several months and had listened to every episode of the podcast. I was so excited and oddly nervous to see the show and to get to meet Dustin backstage. In the most don't make me come back there moment, my wife and I got in a huge argument the night before the show because I failed to make sure our kids had done their chores. Sleeping it off didn't help dissolve the tension between us. I had 2 tickets for the show, and at one point, I was backing out of the driveway to go see Dustin alone.
Oh, no.
Knowing what misery would be waiting for me when I got home, I decided to stay home and pout like a 10-year-old. I'm sure you had a great show. Hopefully you'll be back within driving distance soon. Dan, you did the right thing, Dan. Applause for Dan.
Millennial dad,
you
stepping it up.
I love this story. I love this story so much because it's just, you make these plans and then life happens, man. It's like our Santa Barbara trip. You're like, oh, man. Like you did not, as soon as you got in the car from the rental car, you started to relax. But it took that. Yeah. It took all the tension of the weekend, being home by yourself for 3 days, all getting back up to that.
Yep.
Yeah. And oh man, it's just the reality. It's so many times that there are situations like that. You make these. The good news about Dustin Nickerson shows, you guys, is very rarely do they sell out that far in advance. You don't have to buy the tickets that early.
No, but he's a fan and he made a plan and all that.
Yeah,
and
those ones did sell out actually.
Yeah.
So.
Appreciate the effort.
Dan, you did the right thing.
Yeah.
I'll be back in North Charleston in 3 to 5 years. I don't know, probably back before that, but
plan it for your anniversary.
Thank you for sharing that story. Thanks for being real with us. I hope that you guys figured out that fight stuff. And I do like that he also took ownership. He's like, this is because I didn't have the kids do their chores. And I will say there are a couple things that I can count on Melissa being mad about. And one of them is if she leaves and she comes back and the house is in shambles. That is like, even if it's not even if it's in just one shamble, single shamble.
It's more like when I'm almost home and I'm like, start cleaning, tidying.
Let me see some effort.
It's
good to have the vacuum going when you walk in.
That's great.
Just running in the corner.
For the second time last night, I was like, everybody look at me. This is the hand soap.
Yes.
It lives in the closet. If you run out, refill it.
Yeah.
28 hours, Hand soap's out.
It is funny that a kid can make a mess with the thing that is meant to clean. Particularly remarkable. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning into the podcast. We appreciate you so much.
All right, bye.
Bye. Hey, thanks everybody for listening to that episode. We want to give a special shout out to our As Essential as Oils patrons. That's our $25 a month and up supporters. Thank you so much for supporting this little podcast. First, Averill Griffiths.
Adam Bush.
Alyssa Nelson.
Bonnie Galindo.
Carrie T.
Caroline Crimmins.
Code to Grow.
Courtney Eibling.
Demarius Diaz-Stevens.
Dan and Chelsea Morell.
Daniel Owens.
Dave and Melissa Cox.
Dave Hoagland.
Isaac Teron.
Jason White.
Jennifer Ashley Downs.
Jessica Hanrahan.
Joshua and Nikki Platt.
Jordan Lara.
Jordan Cowan.
Juliana Smith.
Lori Amos.
Matt and Sam Slosdom.
Nathan and Jennifer Merritt.
Nicole Carraz.
Rachel Wilson.
Rachel Kennedy.
Robert and Nellie Capen.
Stephen Menya.
And Tiffany Payne.
Thanks so much for supporting the pod, everybody. We love you and appreciate you so much. Bye.
Bye.